Hi, I'm Agnel Angle. I am playing some more Great Ace Attorney because you know how it is. That's right. Okay, here we go. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. I've lost her voice a little bit, but that's fine. Yes, what can I do for you? It's not really a spoiler. I forgot that they just straight up showed him during the animation for the beginning of the scene, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that they did spoil it for everybody. I recognize that face, but it can't be. No, it is. It is! That's what I'm saying, Runo. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosanaga. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Again, can we do we really have to make the death jokes? Come on, man. Nearly stopped, I hope. That's what I'm saying, Susato. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I could do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Wonder what that could be. Okay, let's talk to him. Actually, do I have anything? Can I present him with some stuff? Hey, look, it's my pen. Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a fabled Imperial Yume University pin badge? I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but... Oh my gosh, his hands are huge! So, you're a genuine student, then? Sorry? Nothing like me with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. Is that what you were trying to say? Oh, okay, so it's, he was being sarcastic. Okay. Can I have my badge back, please? Dang! Nosanaga's pissed. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. How peculiar. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. How peculiar. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. I don't understand why that should be obvious. Like, would it be that crazy that a study tour student, especially after a student was murdered in their country, would it be that crazy that they would be accompanied by a security guard? Like, I don't see that as crazy. I don't know what they were thinking. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. Yes, which made it very easy for you to do your job, right? Because most of the time you were not by Asogi's side where a bodyguard should be if they want to be the most helpful. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night, every day. Sure. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. Well, what? Is it gonna happen out in the open? Like, really? I failed miserably at my assignment, and Sogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I could do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Alright. Hey, can you give us permission to investigate, buddy? We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next-door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. Listen, we stan Hosonaga in this household. We bless him. He's always got everyone's best interests at heart. But I don't see how... What do you mean? You have the diary. There may be a way. Obviously. What? Really? Are you that stupid? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. That sucked. Simply select the present panel, just like you did earlier with your badge, and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the cabin next door, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. I wonder. It's very clearly this, right? What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama read something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if we can investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. What? Okay. What? I just realized, why does he still have his hand bent? Before he had a towel and it made a little bit of sense, but why is his arm still like dude, the towel isn't there. The towel isn't there anymore, man. Is it stuck that way? Like, is he okay? It might be stuck that way, actually, and I might just be an ass. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. Captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I have to entrust the investigation to you. What? I thought you had to get the permission to okay. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes. As long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. Yeah, because they're Sholmes's. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? Yes. I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. What if it doesn't convince the captain, though? After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. See ya, suckers. Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. I want to know why they put her in a lower class, but he got to be in first class. That's weird. They're both going for the study tour, right? So, like, why? Why separate them, if that makes sense? Really? Must be awful. Oh. Oh, look over there. It's another crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose. Like people in handcuffs? No one comes in here or no one leaves here? No one comes in here, huh? Naruto-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. I love that little point. She's so adorable. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please don't give me that pitying look. Oh, goodness. Okay, I don't want to talk to him yet because I have to do an accent again. And I'm not looking forward to doing an accent. I have practiced none. I have practiced my accent none since last time. So, I apologize. Ah, trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Oh, I love her book. Is that the first time she's pulled it out? I think it might be. I love her book. I love that it's just in her sleeve, and it has so much knowledge in it. It's really incredible. Like, I think that it has infinite knowledge in it, and you'll see what I mean as we move along. Let me see. Yes, I think that's what it's called, cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Cheese. Wonder what that tastes like. That's so pure. They've never had cheese. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Snap. Really? But, oh, I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Aww, sweet. First class cabin number 1. Yep, that's our cabin. Not our cabin, it's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? It's okay. Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? Small as the wardrobe I've been calling home, literally. Because that's where you said that's where you said my accommodations ended. Get the joke? These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? Well, more than 539. Hey, what is this? What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? Sure. It says, press only in times of emergency. Looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship, brings the vessel to a complete stop, It's incredible that that can bring the entire ship to a complete stop. Like, automatically. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. That's so funny. This I have to see. That's incredible. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. I wish everything would just stop. Ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect everyone else. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yeah, it's the only door. You're right. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh! Oh my goodness. Also, I love that he's like 6'9" or something crazy. I think canonically this guy's like 6'8". Hold on. How tall is... It said eye color gray, but all I read was gay. And I was like, what? Where did they find that? Okay, I want his height immediately. Height unknown. What? I thought that he had one, though. This is ludicrous. This is ridiculous. I swear I remember looking it up and finding an answer. I'm livid. Okay, whatever. He's tall. I mean, everyone to me is tall, but he's tall, you know? Oh, I like his purple eyes. Also, his tie is a fish, which is adorable. Excuse me, we, need to get inside this cabin here. Please don't talk. The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Didn't stop him, though. Though this man's version is definitely more effective because it can be, the message can be discerned in any language from him. It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass. That's a problem. Is that it? Okay, that's all I had to say about that. And then he morphed over into the corner. This looks like a plan of the SS Burya. Shows each deck, look. The Burya is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. So far, this book has details about cheese and about this specific steamship. How is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? There are a bunch of little guys holding it up and swimming. That's what's happening here. Oh, that's really quite simple now, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan. Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they're floating? And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Oh, bless her. Well, I suppose so. You know, I think that your father would be ashamed of you if he knew that that's what you thought. It's a huge book on top of the table there, and there's a pin next to it. Yes, it looks like the ship's log. Should we have a little look through it? What? He's just letting them? He's gotta be asleep with his eyes open. There's no way he would just let them look through the ship's log. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. And nothing. No reaction at all. Thought I might appreciate the compliment. Was that a compliment? Also, like I said, he's asleep. He has no idea what's going on right now. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor. She's based. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there is nothing to report. Interesting. That's the way to the second class area of the ship. You already said that. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Just like Kazuma-sama. That's evil. I apologize. That's evil. Oh dear. I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, you got your point across. No, I started it with my talk of running away. There's no way I could run away while Cosmo's death remains a mystery anyway. Oh god, I don't want to do his voice. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer! That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. I believe that, I'm pretty sure that Susato is shorter than me, and I'm 5'1", so, like, I cannot imagine how tall this guy is to us. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid! Also, I apologize that they have the same exact voice. He has the same voice as the other sailor. I forgot who was who when I first did his voice. So sorry. Oh. I seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor! My mother gave me name! He has a good point. I am senior crewman Beef Stroganoff. It's so good. Beef Stroganoff. Why? Why did they name him that? I just don't know. Whew. Best thing is to just avoid eye contact, I think. Oh, I don't wanna. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Buya steamship, for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. This? Is it this? I think I read that it's this, actually. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Gosh, that's amazing. Somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you into ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you, Stroganoff. Thank you? We had the same joke. Me and Runo got the same brain cell right now. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next door to Mr. Sergei's currently occupied? I believe, from watching a playthrough of this, that sounds like da. I believe. I may be wrong. So da. Sato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. Yeah, okay. Sure. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no. Genius. Damn. You don't have to be so mean. Did you know any better? It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Wait, so if it's not polite, was he one of the sailors who helped break down the door? Because they shouldn't have been able to do that if it's not polite. Or did Kazuma's concern about his health override that? Which, like, I would agree with that, but he is saying under no circumstance. And right now, we have a crime scene? That's a little bit more important, I would argue. Oh, I don't wanna. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next door to Mr. Asogi's? I keep saying next door, and I know that there's no next door. I know that it was just next last time, and I didn't correct myself because it would have been dumb. His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is very important Western gentleman. Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. Yikes. Big yikes. Woo, woo. Racist alert. Woo, woo, woo. That was harsh. Yeah. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Cozo's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. And I have superhuman powers, so I can feel the presence of others. But presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Isn't that right? That is not your business. Uh-oh. Okay. This person doesn't sound suspicious at all. Especially if you have read the Sherlock Holmes books. I haven't. Just putting that out there. I have not. So I have no idea. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Hit! I know, that's not what that says. Sort of son. Do you understand that? It was clearly a no. You think so? So nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? Oh, look at him, he's looking down. I said no! Sorry! Okay. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Yeah. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second-class area, staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain! Yes, that, I'm never using when pigs fly again. That's incredible. When the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Genius, it's got multiple layers to it. It's so good. Or as the English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Wow. He didn't bother to make sure that they, that they went. Wait. How do you open them? There's no knob. How do you open the door? What? How do you get in? Are they a push door? Surely not. They may be. Huh. How do they unlock them then? I guess they don't because the sailors had to kick them open. Does that mean every time anyone leaves, they just can't get into the rooms? I'm so confused. Okay, this is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Cosmo-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. Out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help us with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. It's a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. I definitely didn't know that when I was acting it before. Stand aside! Yeah! My man! I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Shams! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Shams. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Oh, I love him. Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? What, pray, can I kick? Oh, he's so. That's all I have. He is so. I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. And if anyone has the right to think about stress relief, it's me. Ooh, we get a new title screen. Interesting. Alright. Who are you? Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. It sounds Russian. We heard a woman scream. Woman, don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True. This old man does appear to be the only person in here. Old? He doesn't look that old to me. Like 30, maybe. He really does not look that old to me. But in that case, who just screamed? Maybe he has a very high-pitched scream. Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. He wasn't even phased. I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the cover of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. Man uses that magazine like a business card. Love it. Detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? Sholmes? I don't think that's where she is, bucko. What? Oh, sorry. I thought that was Ryunosuke. I saw the R and the Y and my brain went Ryunosuke. What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. He's just being mean. Don't look at me. Exactly. Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruto? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now! Otherwise I'll close the door! So this is Cosima's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. Couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Oh, theme song. Okay. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. Do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. Oh, this is going terribly. We're not getting anywhere here. I agree. There may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? You said Mr. Well, Mr. Sholmes, he hasn't even caught it. What were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Of course. Resting? Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually. You're spot on, for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why, the truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for Russians. Oh, bless him. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh, yes, please. Okay, this right here, this is the bread and butter of what makes the Great Ace Attorney special to all the other games. This right here, this is it. This whole section that we're about to go into. It's super long. This is going to be a really long video, so be excited. Be excited. Alright. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detectives greatly admired. Gosh, I hate him. I hate reading him. No, I love him. He's one of my favorite voices to do. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh, it's time, fellas. Could this man be hackneyed? Hackneyed betrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you. What? That's what I'm saying. From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? Oh, bless him. What does that mean, Sholmes? Hey, Sholmes, what does that mean, man? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes, I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Sorry. Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Ah. And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ah. Oh, no, Hiro-san. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction. Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. Oh, look at him, he's purple. What? What ineffable twaddle. What ineffable twaddle. That's brilliant. Oh, yes. I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true. Oh, I love her. She's so sweet. I can hardly believe it, but all the colors drained from Mr. Roylott's face. Actually, no, some purple has been added to the top of it. Looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. Ow. How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well, then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. But plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Yeah, here we go. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott. Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place? Yeah, the spotlight! Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Oh, we got an exclamation mark. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Uh-oh. There was a question mark. Now, moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I love the tip of the hat so much, it's so good. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper. In particular, the fascinating front page article. Which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Yep, that's him. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik Flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. It's so good! Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik! Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. How can you see his eye? Ah! And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Trust me, I would know. I'm a habitual liar. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that travelling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. You dumbass. Yeah, a young lady. It would have to be a newborn. My gosh. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the travelling case? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. I have no idea if that's right. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your travelling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina... I can't do it! Okay. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. That's exactly what happened. It's only true. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this Russian enigma, Eleminsky. Oh, bless him. Oh, I love their reactions. Soto-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, stories are full of Mr. Sholmes's brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different, somehow. Oh no, never meet your heroes, kids. Never meet your heroes. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other! Ah, yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you. But the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Willett does look a lot more like this man than you do. Don't side with him! That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina, indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly! You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. Trust me, I've tried. We were gonna take Cosima's little sister or something. But she just wouldn't fit, so we had to leave her at the port. They were gonna smuggle him and like his little sister or something. I don't know. They don't exist, but they do now in my headcanon. That's exactly what happened. That's how he knows this so well. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Susato has a very good point. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain lithiness in their bodies. Lithness. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, this whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruto, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. Uh-huh, of course you do. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Susato. Shut up. It's just one or two keywords in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Oh, it's so funny. She's just trying to help him. But he's an idiot. I'm sorry, Susato. He's a himbo, but we love him. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. Oh, I'm sure it was. This man is a lot of work. That is so true. He is a lot of work, but he's worth it. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. And then he just stops. That's my favorite thing about his laughing animation. Sometimes they just stop it halfway through. And it's so confusing. Why do they do that? It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Ah! Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel. And don't worry. I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Yeah, look at him. He's so cute. They're so cute. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. It's awesome. I love this part so much. So, the dubious-looking Russian Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place. This is just a, it's a repeat. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the most copious beard you sport. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. Aw, poor baby. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott, either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, Naruto-san, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. I wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruto-san. Oh, come on! Why am I the one to do something about this? Don't you want to dance around the room with Mr. Sholmes? Oh, I'd love to! Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? He was going to use them for his coat buttons? I didn't know you could hit that. Okay, he's using them for the coat buttons. Actually, we'll click on them first. Are you looking at the buttons on this coat? Could it be that Mr. Roylott was planning to cut these off? Oh! Why? Well, when you're wearing thick gloves, it can be very hard to undo buttons. Then, couldn't you just take off your gloves first? Aha! So he was going to use the scissors to cut his gloves off then. Oh, I've never done this one before. I want you to take a deep breath and look at this from a fresh perspective, Naruto-san. Oops. I think she's angry. Well, we're presenting them. For years, you have lived in the icy climate of your homeland, wearing that thick coat for warmth. So many years, in fact, something terrible has happened. You've forgotten how to undo buttons. Now, in the warmth of this cabin, you find yourself sweltering and desperate to remove your outer layer. What spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion? Oh, well, it's supposed to be logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruto. Kindly perform any peculiar experiments on your own stage. Oh, sorry. Okay, well, let's just take a long, hard look at him. He's got copious beard, got his sunglasses, he's got his thick hat, and, ooh, what is this? Oh, Goldilocks. What's this? I like how they just stand still while you walk around them and just point at things. They don't say anything. Sholmes has the power to stop time, actually. It looks like a cascade of stunning gold locks. No, the color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how is it growing out from underneath this thick black hair? Oh, sweetie. Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. Okay. Yes. Oh, and he copies him. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed. You have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Shut up, Sholmes. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an older man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman. Judging from the length and sheen of your hair. One still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I'd managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? I had figured it out from the moment we stepped in. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise. Naruto-san, you're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? Feels like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing facts with Mr. Sholmes. Oh, they're having so much fun. That's so cute. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. God, I hate him, actually. He sucks, and this sucks, and I hate it, and I want to go home. So strictly business. What did he say? So strictly business, not strictly come... What? What was he trying to say? Okay, whatever. Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Rowlett is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole is taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll try my best. I'll do my best. Something. Yeah, it's obviously the ballerina. Yes! It's Kazuma-sama. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! Oh no! Oh, she's so lucky she had that hat on. There she is. Hi. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Anyone. I don't think they have the V's for O's. I'm mixing them up with German. Ballerina on the run. Solved. Well, clearly she didn't kidnap herself. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes. So clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right, even though we already knew that. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? Running away? Is that a crime? Oh, I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. And I'm not looking forward to it, Susato-san. You seem to look pleased, Naruto-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? Stop it! Stop it! You're making me blush. Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Alright, let's take a... Oh. I wonder what that might be. I think it's the waste paper basket, personally. Oh, I didn't save. So we either take a penalty or we do the real answer. No, we're taking the penalty. This is gonna be funny. The waste paper basket? Let's have a little look inside. Naruto-san! It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know. This is a crime scene. Okay, I don't care if the other room is the crime scene. Anything near the room is the crime scene. I would argue that most of the ship is the crime scene in real life, but in Ace Attorney logic, it's confined to the room. Either way, you can absolutely go through her rubbish in this situation. Oh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Thank you! Exactly! We have no choice. hardly anything in here at all. Oh, well, that's a little disappointing. She's littering! When people want to conceal the evidence of their crimes, where do they put it? If you want to hide a tree, put it in the forest. If you want to hide paper, put it in the waste paper basket. Yes, the proof of your crime is in here. Probably. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruto? Just following the natural progression of the deduction, sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. Do we even click on it, or do we just... I'm just gonna present it.
Yes.
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully, taking their precious tiara with you. Oh! And she has to straighten her hat. I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. The tiara, it was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Trasha. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old. She's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely and horrified. This poor girl, and they're playing this awesome music. All right, I will tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now. There is no point to hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? Mystery? I can't roll R's very well. What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. That's true, it did move. I wonder if it's the speckled band, perhaps. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Oh, this is new. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. That makes absolutely no sense. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all of this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still. Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she's hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Well, it's not the picture. Surely it's where it says that there are no pets, because it literally moved, so she has to have a snake in there. I mean, sorry, not a snake, the speckled band. My bad.
Yes.
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its intents. Right on cue. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. And I don't know of any, weapons that, that wobble. But no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. They always beat me to the joke. Or I guess I beat them, but I have played it before, so my subconscious might just remember that that's a joke. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. Aw, look at them. Is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage a pet? I hate that I can't do both voices at once. Sadly. Ah! We got her! Doesn't it feel good? Elementary. It's so good. You love to see it. So clearly you aren't who you said you were.
No, I am not Grimsby Roylet. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct.
You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. Bay is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, there is no trifling matter. Or to me. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. Aww, I like your hair. It's actually identical to the color of mine. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? Well, it was obviously her. That veritable tinkling of a bell, why none other than this young lady, naturally. Like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. What scared her is the question.
I was so scared when I ran away to Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me.
Oh, I apologize.
That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself, so no one would recognize me.
Oh, bless her.
As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man? I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper.
Oh, that's right.
Right on the page, there was a picture of me.
Sorry, I know that accent isn't good. It's especially hard to do it for her.
I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all of my hair as fastly as possible. So I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Annoyingly unlocked. By the way, as a stowaway, why on earth did you have your door unlocked, man? That's so dumb.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? It really do be like that sometimes.
Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. That exchange was, it really do be like, it be like that sometimes, and then it really do. That's gold. Are those two even talking about the same thing? Probably not.
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You are right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. The whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew.
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night.
Yes, all right. I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something, Mr. James's great deduction?
It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. And they're back.
Ah! Your hands are cuffed again.
What? But how? True to my word, I've restored your shackles. When? And why? Well, you are a criminal.
There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment.
Can't it? Really? I mean, all that you have is, like, the process of elimination.
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what that speckled band that Cosimo wrote about in his diary really was.
Alright, so I'll converse.
Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast.
The man who died, he was a friend of mine.
Oh.
That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking.
Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded. He's so serious. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened.
Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see. You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet?
Yes. I am traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget? It's a challenging proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
But that tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world.
That's horrible.
I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes. And the crew of this ship, they have all been very kind to me.
Oh.
They let me come on board. They said I could hide in this cabin.
Of course, accomplices. If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum, I'm not sure, but... Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. Riddle me this, Miss Pavlova. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it! Of course! So how is it, pray, that you came to be aboard?
Now that I think about it, the crewmen outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
No, he yelled, right? Yeah. That's it? That's all. Do we really need a flashback? For it is none of your business. Come on, man. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something.
An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry? What was that?
It is how the Russian newspapers described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens because I am an angel.
No, I'm an angel. Don't try to twist things, alright? That's me, not you. Even though we look similar, actually. I'm older than you, bucko. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid. English isn't your mother tongue either.
Mr. Jones once said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. Seems Miss Pavlova's the same.
Yeah, obviously Sholmes can't resist a touch of the dramatic. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to deduction. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, in fact. So I wrote it, naturally. Yes, yes, Mr. Showy. It's Mr. Sholmes to you. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. Well, we still have our friend. So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? Can it breathe?
I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh, please, don't tell any of the crew. If they found my precious.
Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah! So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes.
But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? It is, isn't it?
No. Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Not a kitten, a rabbit.
No.
Ah, you credit Russia, the land with small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there, then? You may well ask. I have no idea. Ah. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina's friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken! And then they play his goofy-ass theme song. Oh, it's so good. Really? And she believes it. Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs. And when adversity strikes, it can satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that. Why do you need to?
No.
She reacted with the same amount of emotion. Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. I bet it's a chicken still, though. It's so abrupt. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. Something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Okay, fine. I'll show her I'll show her my badge. Can I show you this? I'm actually a university student from the Empire of Japan, you see. Isn't that cool?
That means nothing to me.
No, why would it?
Mr. Naruto, if you're determined to flaunt your Yume badge, at least choose a Japanese person who might recognize it.
Mrs. Sato, can I show you this?
Maybe later.
That was such good comedic timing. Oh, I could show Inspector Hosonaga too. I already tried, honey. Okay, we'll show her the diary. This is the diary of my friend who passed away.
His diary?
Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:53 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? I don't understand.
Strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall.
In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything.
Oh. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're in trouble now. Excuse me, Mr. Roylett. Whoa, that was fast. I already forgot his voice. Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please. All right, I will come now. What? You must leave. Now. Oh, no, it's fine. Don't mind us. We'll just stay in your room.
Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylett.
Get out! The passenger said out! Or do you want me to throw you out? Looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later. Yep.
What a pity.
And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. Okay, that's a good spot. That's a good spot to put a to be continued. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed The Greatest Attorney again. Give it a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, please. I really could appreciate it very much. As a small YouTuber, it makes me very happy. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye!